Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Tim Kelly, author of Get Your Financial Foundation Established. Why don't you? Thank you for joining me. Many of you know, huge passion for financial education, financial literacy, simply because across our country there is zero. School systems have not implemented, and I don't think they ever plan to implement anytime soon a financial education. One of the many reasons why our country is in the financial shape it's in. Today, I want to speak just a little bit on who you are trusting with your retirement and with the savings that you could scrape up. Most people would respond with a financial advisor or a financial planner. There's a few things that a lot of people don't know. Is that those financial advisors and those financial planners typically make money and line their pockets based on the fund they put your retirement investment vehicle in. Okay? I'm not saying that every single financial planner or financial advisor is a scumbag. Some of them are actually genuine individuals who care about you, who care about your family, who care about your family's financial future. But a way to dissect that and to figure out really if they are the type of person that you want overseeing your capital and your investments and your retirement, your family's financial future, there's just a few questions that you need to talk to them about and ask them and put in their head and see how they respond, and see how their demeanor is upon those responses. Okay. Essentially, all you have to ask them is, what are the annualized fees that I'm paying? A lot of them aren't going to be completely honest with you, all right? Because if they were completely honest with you, you would probably not want to keep investing with them, all right? I'm not going to tell you all these different numbers, and I'm not going to throw out the average rates of return of the stock market or 401ks or IRAs with mutual funds over the last 10 years. That's not what we're here to do. I'm just here to raise your level of awareness in talking to the individuals. If you have a financial planner or a financial advisor, which many people do, if not, they're taking it upon themselves. If not, they're kind of just holding it in a custodian like Fidelity or E-Trade and kind of just letting it do its thing, even though with those associated with those are lots of different fees. But fees is another major thing, okay? So ask these individuals, what kind of fees are they? What kind of fees are you getting charged on an annual basis? I'm going to take a pause right there and let's think about if they tell you it's 6% or 7% or 8%. Most of the time when they tell you that, those returns are not adjusted for inflation, for those said fees that we're talking about, or for taxes. Okay? So when those rates of return they're quoting you, they're trying to convince you that you're actually earning on your capital, are adjusted for taxes and are adjusted for fees and are adjusted for inflation, it's ridiculously low. It's going to be at 0 or 1 or maybe 2% if they're quoting you that 8 or 10%. But there's no way in heck in the last 10 years the stock market is going to offer you that if 100% of your nest egg has been in mutual funds or a 401k or an IRA. Okay. So fees are a major, major, major killer. There's all kinds of fees. I'm not going to bore with you all the different names of the fees. But another major thing is figuring out whether or not the mutual funds that your advisor has you invested in are actively managed funds. If they're actively managed funds, that means without your approval, there are investors on Wall Street who are essentially trading your mutual funds without your authorization. Every time they trade, there's going to be a fee. And the tax hit is even worse. The tax burden that you hit. If there's a capital gains tax, if there was a loss in a certain stock, let's say it was $50 a share, dropped down to $40 a share, even if you bought it at $50 a share, you take that 10% hit, the capital gains tax on that loss, you are still going to have to pay those fees. So a lot of this stuff goes without you even realizing or knowing unless you're reading all the white paper on your mutual funds that you're hopefully on the prospectus that you should be receiving on a monthly or quarterly basis from your advisor. But who's going to sit there and read 50 pages of black and white nonsense that will put most people to sleep, okay? That's another reason why financial advisors have a job, because they like to complicate it. And I'm here to simplify it. You could take control of your financial future. You could learn and increase your financial IQ and your financial education to the point where you don't need an advisor to essentially steal money from you in most cases and line his or her own pockets, not really care about your financial future, and based on the mutual funds that they're going to put your money into, that's how they get paid. Do you think if there was a mutual fund that didn't pay you crap, but they lined their pockets at a very nice commission, which one do you think they're going to go for? Obviously, they're going to probably go for the one that pays them that fat commission check, okay? All I'm trying to do is raise your awareness. Talk to your financial advisor if you have one. I can go on for days and days about this and bore you to death, but I'm not going to. Ask them what kind of fees they are making off of you on an annual basis, what kind of return, and ask them specifically what is the return when adjusted for fees, inflation, and for taxes. See if it's a positive number, okay? And then the last thing, we'll ask them whether or not they're in actively managed mutual funds. Actively managed mutual funds means that they're constantly being trades. If you're like in an index fund, which would be really one of my only recommendations for a mutual fund, index funds are usually keeping up with the S&P 500, the major Standard & Poor's 500 best companies and best corporations in Wall Street. Those are safe, low fees, and there is a gradual, especially if you plan on keeping your money in for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, that is probably one of the best, most proven investment vehicles is a index fund. I highly recommend you don't put all of your funds in that. Of course, I'm a huge advocate of the hard assets like real estate and business, but we're not here to talk about that right now. Just want to raise your awareness on your financial advisor, who you are trusting with your financial future. Talk to me, shoot me an email, send me a message. I love to chat with you again. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for your time. My name is Tim Kelly, author of Get Your Financial Foundation Established. Why don't you? Hope you enjoyed it. Tim Kelly, out.